Do it on the show.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it on the show.
Yell at Happy.
Yeah.
Where's Happy?
Yell at Happy. Luckily, we're not at the same table, so Happy won't pull it down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Happy won't drag the table away.
Yeah.
It sounds like Happy's way less barky than my dogs, though.
Yeah. we got another dog, too, which is a surprise. Anyways, yeah, go for it.
All right, radio check. Looks like we got sounds.
Mute my phone.
Sounds. Everybody good?
Yeah.
Check.
All right, you guys ready? 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, it is just after 6:30 on a Tuesday night. We are live and on the big TV in the studio. We have Frank and Ali from Rigged for Dirt. You can find them just about anywhere a podcast is found. Rigged for Dirt is the name of the podcast. You can find them at riggedfordirt.com and at Rigged for Dirt on Instagram. How you guys doing tonight, man?
Excellent.
Good. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining. Appreciate it. It's I think I was telling Jose. I think we ran into Ali and bugged him at the four-wheeler expo in February, right before the world shut down. So I don't know if that was your fault that it all happened, like us talking to you caused a rip in the matrix,
space-time continuum.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we did actually come over and bug you at the booth for a few minutes. I was going to go back and try to find that episode, but I did not. But where are you guys at? I know you guys are local here. We're here in Eastvale in the Inland Empire. Where are you guys coming in from?
I'm in Eastvale. Should I just come over to your house?
Right.
Come on over.
Come on over.
The casting couch is open.
Yeah,
it's so random.
Yeah, we showed Frank a video of the casting couch we have here in the studio. Most people don't get to see that. It's orange though, and it's a material. It's very hard to clean. So we don't.
Why would you know that?
I'm just saying.
Yeah, why would you know
that?
Because
on my way.
Because I've slept on it before.
Oh,
right. Is that what we call it now? Sleeping?
That's exactly what it is. So, anyways, Rigged for Dirt. You guys have been around a while. I'd like to hear, about the podcast, how it started, and
we didn't hear where Frank was from.
Oh, I didn't. Frank, where you at?
Yeah, I'm just over in Orange County. I'm behind the orange curtain.
We don't.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Yeah.
We don't associate.
I'm behind the orange curtain.
And he's apparently he's rich. And he's too good for us.
Oh, he's in his library, apparently.
Yeah. And if you're watching this video, he's in the Beast's library in the Enchanted Castle. I don't know where Belle's at.
Art books back here?
He's got Belle.
One out for you.
He's got Belle locked up in a tower someplace.
Right.
So
I hope you guys like children's Disney references because you're going to get a lot of that
all day. That's my jam.
Right over my head. Every single one of them.
Just wait.
You and me both, Frank.
I'll give you a whole list of Disney movies to watch.
They said casting couch, Disney, and children in the same 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think we wanted to take it there.
We're well versed over here at Trailchasers Inc.
Yeah.
You've caught the essence of our podcast, actually.
Yeah, I've already distilled it. It's fine.
Yeah, we've already distilled it.
So I'd really like to hear about because both of you have very interesting, cool jobs. Like we do stupid stuff during the day. You guys seem to do cooler stuff. And I'd like to hear about the genesis of the show and how that led to the Rigged for Dirt's events and kind of what you guys have done with the platform. And kind of you've created this community around you guys, and I think that's super interesting. So, who wants to start by telling me kind of the genesis of the show? Where did the show start?
Well, I mean, I would start with actually what Frank was doing with Overland Bound and the meetups that he had coordinated out in Laguna Hills. So, Frank, you want to jump into that because that's really where it kind of started.
Yeah, that was probably almost 5 or 6 years ago now. Where we started doing meetups, and same thing. I had wanted to get back into camping, and after doing the whole school and career and kind of all that stuff, and I was like, it's time to get back to what I used to enjoy when I was a lot younger. And there just wasn't anything going on in Orange County. It was pretty bland. And 5 or 6 years ago, like the scene or the movement was just kind of beginning, where it was kind of going on that upswing, and there wasn't anything happening. And I was talking to some people in other groups, and they were like, just do it. And I was like, screw it. I'm just going to do it then. And it literally started with like, I think there was like 6 or 7 guys that showed up for the first meetup. The next meetup we had like 30. I mean, it was apparent that there was a need.
Wow.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
And I had nothing to do with that back then. Like me and Frank, I don't even think we knew each other.
No, we didn't meet until probably like almost 2 years later, because we met like a little over 3 years ago.
Yep.
And by that time, the meetup was pretty well established, and we were getting like 100 plus rigs, consistently to the meetups. And I remember Ali and I met actually through a friend who was going to go out and propose to his then girlfriend, and he had invited a select group of people to join him. I think there was like 5 or 6 of us.
Was that
were
Gorman?
there. Yeah, that was Gorman. Yeah, exactly. And I had met him through the meetups, and then found out that he actually worked at the same place my wife did, who also works at the same place Ali did.
Whoa!
It's 511 Tactical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And back then she was working at 511, and so that's kind of how that all happened and how we got pulled in together. And I mean, it was basically very just friends of friends, and we had a great time. And that trip was actually back when Kate was bone stock.
Right.
You remember that?
And Kate, he's not talking about his wife. That's the name of his Jeep. Because I saw the look on Matt's face. He's like, wow, what kind of mods has Kate had put on her since then? Let's talk more about this Kate person.
Yeah.
She was stock back then. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, but I met Frank about 3 years ago, dude. When I think I met you when I first got the FJ. Yeah, so
like it was also new to me.
It was completely you only had you had just put on your KC highlight light bar.
That's right. I had the roof rack and the light bar.
Yeah, but we met
because
Yeah, well, I met Frank through a friend that I met through the Overland Bound forum as well. It was a Corona meetup that I went to.
I don't like hearing about Jose knowing other people than us.
Do you hear the theme? He finds people online
Who's
and stalks them until
Yeah.
he ends up in their living room. Like that's
So
he finds men online and stalks them.
Exactly.
And
then I meet up with them.
And now he comes to our house every week.
Hey.
That's funny because I've always thought of like overlanding as this thing where if it was in any other context, like just camping, you wouldn't look at some dude's tent on the ground and be like, "Hey, bro, that's a cool tent. You want to go camp sometime?"
Hey, what kind of zippers?
Never in my life have I walked over to someone's campsite and been like, "Oh, that's a cool setup."
That's a
Hey,
sick setup, bro.
Like,
those are high quality zippers on that
You want to
tent,
go
brother.
camping, bro?
Are those rattle free zippers?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've been really considering that tent. Can you give me a review on that? What would you rate it? 5 stars? 5 stars for that one?
Dude, we all meet up at the Starbucks and we get together and we talk about our tents.
Right.
Talk about pitching tents.
Yeah.
That is funny.
But yeah, I met Frank and we wheeled in Anza Borrego.
In Anza Borrego, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you had your 80, right?
I had just gotten it then too.
Yeah,
He still
I remember
has
you were
it.
talking. We were talking about shocks, and you were talking about with the work you wanted to do on
Yep.
it and the upgrades.
Like
And-
you were. I think you had just. We were talking, and then I think you had just gotten some sponsors lined up, or about to. Like you were about to get some stuff done.
I was about to blow up, huh?
Yeah, you were about to blow up.
No, I'm just
Like his head right now.
right.
But yeah, it's just weird. Like we've been running the same circles for 3 years now in the same shows.
Yeah.
And then also we're whatever. I don't think you'll care.
Yeah, well, I just heard them mention it. I've been catching up on some of your shows, and I just heard you mention on a couple of shows ago they were talking about Hop.
Yeah, Hop Hunter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So Hop and Matt over here
They work together.
Oh, no shit.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It's funny.
I just saw him today, as a matter of
Yeah.
fact. Hey, how's it going, man? We're just BSing. He was talking.
Small
Hey, fucker.
You guys went on a run. You guys were in Arizona, right?
Yeah.
A couple of weeks back. He was telling me about that. It sounded pretty awesome. Was it like a full week's worth of wheeling? I think, right?
So, well, technically, I guess we're known for tangents, so this is perfect.
We don't do that here.
no,
We don't
no,
do
dude.
that. It's very.
We have a very
we have
strict
a
script.
very strict.
I'm offended that you stole our idea, our tangent idea.
That's ours.
Hashtag we have tangents.
trademarked it
Hashtag.
actually.
Do you
It's a
tangent?
production.
Do you tangent about conspiracy theories? Because then
Not
I'll really be
too
upset.
much,
Really?
no.
Okay.
But
It's,
I'm happy to go
That's
down
us.
that rabbit hole.
it's not a conspiracy theory when it's your only theory, right? So me and Frank have very differing opinions.
It's not a theory, it's the truth.
When it's
right?
the right, when your theory is absolutely correct, it's not a conspiracy. So conspiracy theories and aliens, somehow these guys always end up dragging it back to those two things.
Like right now.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go on about your tangent.
So-
I apologize.
Summer camp was an event that while I was still at 511, I came up with this thought, and I was kind of intermixed within the KC like community, and we were building up this, at the time a very fledgling family with the KC group. And after going with them to Overland Expo, I'm like, shit, this is fun. Like we jumped in the Colorado River, we camped out in Williams, Arizona. We got the full tour at the KC facility. Like it was just this really cool experience. And I, coming back from Overland Expo that year, it was like, what, 3 years ago now? Because
it was 3 years ago.
That, right? 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Coming back from that, I got on the phone. Well, I got together with 511. I'm like, hey, I got this idea for an adult camp around the Overland community. And they were into it. And then I got on the phone with Randy over at KC at the time because I wasn't working there yet. And I said, Randy, I got this idea. You guys want to sponsor it? He's like, yeah, we're in. And so they were the two first sponsors. And I built this whole event out where it was it was an organic way of getting companies involved with ambassadors and this community we were building. So we were all friends. And I'm like, well, what if I brought these brands that were cool with my friends who are cool, and we put them all together and we just had a fun weekend, and we kind of got back to basics, and we had a fun environment where people didn't have to stress out about being, Brad from Trail Recon or, whoever from wherever, people could just be. And it went off. Frank came out. We actually did a podcast from there with Brad and Marco, and it was really good. And everyone really loved it, and everyone had a great time. Fast forward from that experience, I ended up going over to KC to work. I left 511, went over to work for KC, ended up there for a couple of years. And of course, last year got canceled because of COVID. There was no way around it. And then this year, damned if I was going to let it get canceled. And it almost did, where KC decided at the very last minute, literally a week leading up to summer camp this year, they were going to cancel. They were going to pull out.
Damn.
And we got on the phone, and a bunch of ambassadors got on the phone, and I had spent so much time putting all this together. I mean, you guys, Frank, literally a huge investment of time, energy, and love to try to get this second event going. And I was billing it as the KC camp, KCAMP, right? I was all in with KC. I was going to brand the whole event under them. It was going to be their annual event. And I was totally fine with it because I was with them. Well, they pulled out, and actually I ended up getting let go from KC 2 weeks prior to that. I would say it was about 2 weeks, right, Frank?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yep.
2 weeks leading up to the event, I get let go, and then they were about to cancel this event, and I'm like, no, that's too much shit getting canceled. And so we're on the phone, and Alan, the CEO, was telling everyone, hey, sorry guys, because of COVID, because of my concerns, we're gonna have to cancel. And I said, hey, what if I just take it over with Rick for Dirt and we do it? And suddenly you had the entire community because they had all the ambassadors on the line. And so, Jillian, Rebecca, Brad, Brad from Trail Recon, everyone's like, yeah, we're in. We'll support you, Ollie. We're in.
Nice.
And overnight, it went from once being my event to becoming Casey's event to coming back to being our event with me and Frank. And so now it's a Rick for Dirt event. And we're going to actually start promoting it for next year for 2 events. You guys are invited.
Awesome.
But what it eventually became and what it will continue to be is, for instance, I had Super 73 out there with bikes, and people were just riding around the bikes. I had Fieldcraft Survival there to do, training. I had Camp Chef giving us gear to cook in the mornings for everyone.
Yeah, Sony show up.
Yeah, I cooked. I cooked, and I cooked with some of the other guys who volunteered, and it's all about giving back to the community in a real way. And KC got all the campsites. KC actually got a catering for evenings for all the dinners. It was essentially, it's hey, come out to this event. You guys don't have to do shit. we're going to take care of everything. And you're going to get these really cool, connections with companies like Innova or, it's like, I can't even, like Sony came out with, and they send out their ambassador Stan, and they had nighttime photography classes.
Really?
And they sent cameras and tripods.
Dude,
and
15 A74Rs.
Like,
on demand.
All the latest shit.
Yeah, all
basically.
The latest shit. And it's like, Tembo Test came out, and Jerry from Tembo did lunches every single day.
That's awesome.
And then you had a cook-off from Overland X and Marco and Jillian and Rebecca. Like it was just a really cool, like connected, like you're not getting sold to. There's no booths anywhere. Like I had a moratorium on all easy ups. Like it was just like come out and experience what these guys do. And like Shimano sent out like water bottles. They were going to do actually kind of sucked. COVID could kiss my ass, but Shimano, unfortunately, they couldn't do what they were going to originally do. And it was awesome. They actually like, you could keep the money. I'm like, I don't need your money. Just keep the money. It's all good. They sent out water bottles though.
Take
and
their money.
So everyone got, reusable water bottles for the weekend, but they were going to do fishing and they were going to do single track on their new step system bikes. So,
nice.
But it's like, but hey, it didn't happen this year. We're going to do it again next year.
Yeah.
Like, fuck me if COVID lasts until 2022.
I think I can safely speak for the three of us here is that if we were to go to this event, we'd offer zero value to the event.
Yeah. Well, no, I take that back because if Shimano's there, I can show them how to wreck their bike and end up in the hospital.
True.
Like
You
that's
can
what I
break- you
do.
can reconstruct
I
your
can-
other shoulder.
I've got another shoulder that still needs surgery, so we're good.
Well, a friend of ours actually showed Super 73 how to break a collarbone.
Those
and a
things
couple
look
ribs.
like they're a lot of
Yeah.
fun. Did you get to play on those at all? They
Oh,
they,
yeah.
they
Oh,
look
yeah.
like
Yeah.
they're super fun. I have not.
It's-
Yeah, they're pretty fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
super stands for
anything with
super
power.
fun. Yeah.
Anything with power and lightweight is going to be fun, just about, right? Like,
And wheels and hospital
wheels,
bills.
power, lightweight. You can rip around on it all you want. Yeah,
That's just an emergency room visit for me. That's all that is. Where was the camp at?
This one was in Williams, Arizona.
Okay, that's
And,
right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's up near Flagstaff.
Next year might be different. We may change locations.
It's
So,
south of the Grand Canyon.
correct.
Williams
Yep.
is the town that you go to and you catch the train.
He's
to
like,
go
let me
up to
name
Grand-
the only
Exactly.
city in Arizona I know.
Yeah.
It's a great city, though.
it is a great city. It's a great little town.
I have there's a town called Seligman, Arizona that's north,
yeah.
and it's got it's like 6,000 feet elevation. I have a
Yep.
friend that
Been there.
apparently has 40 acres up there.
Nice.
So he's like, whenever you guys want to go,
Whatever. It's bragging.
Yeah, big time.
Are you name dropping now?
No, it's
What's
just a
his
dude.
name?
I got a
dude-
friend with 40 acres.
Okay.
Well, I got a friend with 80 acres.
It's a
What's up,
dude-
bro?
All right.
It's a dude at
Why
work.
you gotta come at him like that?
I don't own the 40
He
acres.
just don't.
I don't
He's
have.
like, I know
I
Murray.
know somebody. It's not. I don't have. You.
Whatever. Hey, I stopped in Ludlow
Don't
and got
share,
gas
Cody.
once. Who cares?
Enjoy the 40 acres by yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck you guys. Fuck you guys.
Fun
I'm going up there by
fact,
myself.
Every single time, which has only been twice now that we've gone to summer camp, there's been I've had a catastrophic failure. So Frank and I got towed from the 40 at State Line year one, and I actually towed myself from close, like about an hour south of that point to Williams because I broke
Yeah.
down on the way there with my wife and ended up getting towed back from
You
there.
got a brake caliper bolt loose again or what?
No, it blew the engine this time.
So our best story about the 40 happens to be our very own Matt, who
Oh, we're gonna tell that story again, huh?
who left Laughlin without getting gas, ran out of gas. I don't know, like 60 miles away.
If you leave Laughlin, you got the AV, and then that's it. There's nothing.
That's it. There's nothing until State Line.
And I'll tell you, I made it 7 miles from Ludlow, hungover. Like it was a rough hike to Ludlow. But I was-
7 miles felt like 20, huh?
Yeah, I'd never been happier to have been in Ludlow.
And you
I'll tell you
paid.
that.
You probably paid $7 a gallon for it in Ludlow too.
Oh, gladly. Yeah. Gladly.
Any
Yeah,
chance we get
Ludlow
to
is-
bring up the fact that Matt ran out of gas on the way home from a trip is good for us.
It's been a
Hey,
while.
the 40 is misleading though. The 40, that like if you miss that one spot, you're
Yeah.
going to be driving for like
Yeah.
quite a long distance
A long
until the next
distance.
bus station. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Let me tell you, they got the Dairy Queen in Ludlow. That's a nice place to stop by. Get yourself some ice cream, cool down. Make sure you have enough gas.
And if you
either way,
and if you use one of the call boxes on the side of the freeway
that
on the 40,
shit.
the lady's going to tell you can't use the call box.
she said, "Yeah, what's your problem?"
Yeah, didn't they discontinue those like 10 years ago?
No,
the service is like dead.
You know what? That's what I thought, and I figured, man, I think I'm gonna die, so I might as well try this here phone. And somebody actually picked up, and she goes, "You can't walk on the highway, sir." I'm like, "Well, I've already walked 3 miles."
Well, I'm sure shit not gonna float.
What do you want me to do?
No, he's like, "Have you seen me? I'm not running. I'm not running anywhere."
And so she,
is there a pool here? Like,
the great thing was, she's like, "Well, it's highly inadvisable." Oh, okay, can you send somebody to come and get me then? And a cop showed up in like 15 minutes, so
nice.
it worked out good.
Wow, that's pretty good, dude.
that worked out good.
Yeah.
So
My white privilege. For sure.
So if you
probably got to sit in the front seat.
Yeah.
He let me play with the siren and stuff. He actually paid for my gas. It was great.
Gave you a cooling towel and some water.
Officer Sandy, he was very nice.
Oh man, Officer Sandy would have put me in the back seat. Would have been
yeah. So if you run out of gas, pick up the call box and just say, "Hey, my friend Matt said that I can call you guys and have CHP to come pick me up for a ride."
You think Sandy would come get me?
Sandy is Officer Sandy working today?
I'm looking.
I like the request officers.
I'm looking for one of those CHP Ubers that Matt was telling me about.
Just pull over
the
to
guy
one
with
of
the
those
cooling towel and the front
and just start asking for officers to come and help you. That you're in dire straits. Please send an officer, preferably tall, dark, and handsome if you could. Thank you.
Jesus. Here we go.
All right, so I think 20 minutes ago we asked how the podcast started, and we haven't gotten there yet. So summer camp, you guys, how did the podcast, how did Rig for Dirt start?
So Rig for Dirt originally started as we were at Matt's house.
Right, we were going to do video originally.
Correct. We were at Matt's house, and Ollie and I were like talking about doing video, and we were actually talking about doing video with another friend of ours, Adam. Coincidentally, the guy that broke that hit his shoulder and broke his rib.
I was trying to leave his name out of it, but now it's out there.
Yeah, now he's called out. Good
We'll
job.
Look him up. Every night.
Oddly enough, we were there for that.
I would say, hey, I'm good. No, they're talking about somebody fell off one of those Super 73 bikes and broke his collarbone. I know who you were talking about. Yeah.
So we were originally talking about doing video, like doing a YouTube channel and just kind of going that route. And we quickly kind of lifed ourselves and kind of took inventory of exactly how much effort is involved in shooting video, editing video, taking all of that time, and how much fun it takes out of going on trips to do a bunch of video.
Hence, we have hundreds of hours of video that we never edit
I've
or
got
anything.
a hard drive filled with awesome video
because
that no one will ever see.
It takes time and effort, and we don't have any of those.
Yeah, we actually tried to film a podcast once and it failed.
Hold on real quick.
My
sister-in-law is saying that she knows the guy on the screen next to Matt, but wants to put her finger on him. Is that what I'm reading?
I don't know. So the order must be different because I'm
it is.
Okay, yeah. Which guy is she talking about?
She's talking about you. She says, I know that guy next to Matt, but I can't put my finger on where I know him from. But I know my sister-in-law, so she probably...
at some point?
Well, she's my brother's wife, and it's possible. Who knows? But she's...
What is that saying about your brother's wife?
I'm just saying, I don't know.
Hey man, we all had lives.
She follows Frank.
Yes. I think everybody should get married the first time as a practice. That's what you do. Like you do the first one, you practice,
get that one out of the
right.
way.
Matt's with me.
100%.
You get that one out of the way, and you're like, okay, now I'm ready. I did my practice swing, and now I'm ready.
When she figures out how she knows me, don't at me. Let's leave the past in the past.
It's OnlyFans / Frank the Tank.
That's right. So past life.
So you guys were going to do video, and it's just too much damn work, which we agree. And then where'd you go from there?
Yeah, so from there, I mean, we pretty much let it die for about a good week, right, Ollie? Like, we didn't really... We did our projects. We shot our quick video. I think you were doing an install with Matt, and you were shooting a bunch of video for that. And then I gave you a call, and I said, hey, I got an idea. We should meet up.
Like we went to the coffee shop, Kona.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And I basically told him, I said, look, I know how to edit audio. I do it for Shimano already. It's pretty easy for me to do. It's a relatively low overhead, and we dedicate an hour. We were going to do trips, and so we'll just record them on the trips, and that was essentially the differentiator.
Yeah, that's your guys' thing. You guys record on the trail.
Yeah.
Well, ideally, I've kind of thrown a wrench into the whole mix with being broken down like 200 days out of the year.
We've always planned that, but we never do it.
Lately, it's been the Ollie's Backyard podcast, but we have a lot to talk about, so I think we're all right.
Yeah, I mean, we got lucky recently. We got out finally. It was nice.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it was essentially how it started.
Yeah, we got together at the coffee shop. We talked it over, and Frank's like, "I'll do this," and I'm like, "Well, I got a shitload of people I know," because I was kind of like intermixed at that point. I'd already kind of taken off with my build and my project, and I'd already been running that whole influencer / sponsor game. Yeah. And I said, well, I can bring all these people into it, like as we go. And, it was a good division of labor, and now, I mean, look at Frank now, his fucking FJ is like bitching. So he's definitely like stepped his game up, and we're both now kind of bringing people in. And, but it was just like the perfect kind of relationship. He's different enough from me to where when we talk, there's enough like of a, there's enough of a valley between our points of view that makes it interesting, and at times make us want to throw shit at each other. But I think, it just adds to the reality of the situation.
The not meat incident.
Dude, the not meat incident, the Beyond Burger. I don't think we've ever gotten that fired up.
I'm totally interested now. Really? Tell me the not meat incident.
And I'll tell you, that's going to start a fight already. I can tell you I'm about to fight over that.
Yes.
Go on.
I mean, it's just, you have something that's not meat, don't call it meat. That's my, 2 cents. And Frank was really stoked, and I was a little drunk, so I kind of, when I get a little drunk, I tend to find a scab and pick at it. And it's like,
yeah, definitely. That's exactly what happened.
Frank's scab was the Beyond Burger, and how stoked he was on how good it was, and I'd never.
It wasn't even the burger. It wasn't even the burger. Like, I mean, to the scab was that my whole point was I had no desire to be vegetarian.
Right.
Right. My whole point was.
You were just saying it was good.
I just said it was good, and it actually does taste like meat. It's pretty good. I basically said fuck you for using the word meat and that.
So Frank. So here's the interesting part, Frank. I agree with you. Ali, I also agree with you. Like my wife doesn't like burgers, so she'll eat all the Beyond Meat stuff, and we've made them and I've had them and they're good.
Right.
But
dude, they're good.
Just call it something else. Why are vegetarians always trying to make stuff that replaces the taste of meat?
That is weird.
If you don't
I completely agree.
Like, just call it a shit burger. And okay, great, this is the best shit burger I've ever had. But like, it doesn't,
because no one's gonna eat a broccoli burger. That's why.
But they constantly try to replace the taste of meat.
Yeah, I mean, you got tofurkey and bacon, tofu,
I'm not opposed to any of it. It's good. I've eaten it. I've made it. But you're right. Why are we calling it meat? Call it something else.
I think
honestly,
the biggest reason,
it was like literally should have been a 2-minute conversation.
Like
Frank
really
liked it, and me going, "Oh, that's cool." And that would have been it.
That would have been it.
You got triggered.
And it's all right. Like, in this whole trip about how it's not meat. And I said, look, for me, the reason, and this is the reason why I do think they flavor it meat, is because I think that there just aren't enough vegetarians out there, and they're just, the mass market is meat, right? Everybody wants to eat.
It's a gateway drug.
Eat meat. Yeah, exactly. And so for me, this is where I really kind of, I think, gave Ollie a bigger scab to pick at. And where I said, look, it's a pretty well-known fact that not just us as Americans, but us as human beings, we overeat meat, right? We eat way too much red meat.
That's what she said.
And it's just not good for us, right? Now, we love it. I'm not going to stop eating meat, right? But I figured if this was delicious and tasty, then it was an opportunity for me to maybe occasionally supplement some of that red meat with something that still gives me the satisfaction, but it isn't going to kill me. So
Ali wants
I
And
like-
then from there, it went sideways.
Ali
From there,
wants
it went
no
completely sideways.
Look, this is a
nothing
meat,
to do with that.
It's a meat supplement, sir.
I'm like, this is America. Like,
I'm with
That's
you,
right.
we're
Frank.
doing
America-
just like core values.
No, and then Frank, and then you throw in all of the ecological, environmental
Bro, get the
concerns
fuck
about
out of here, dude.
Exactly where
Just-
the conversation went.
That's exactly where it went.
There's,
I go,
you know,
you take into the fact that if we just consume a little less meat,
absolutely.
do you know how much? I mean,
The-
we
the
don't even have to stop
methane that
using
will be
gasoline cars if we
reduced-
stop eating so many fucking cows.
Yes,
The linchpin of the argument was really just, hey man, it's not meat, so stop calling it meat. It was almost like I was making Frank the representative
Yeah,
of all
exactly.
like.
Totally.
That's how you do
totally
it.
was.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
And,
Yeah.
and you know, fast forward like I don't know what it was, like maybe 4 months later, I thought the Beyond Burger was delicious.
Just so you know, one of our hottest topics was In-N-Out or Five Guys.
Oh, yeah,
like,
there
we'll
was
get
a
hot and heavy over
There was
that.
a month worth of conversations about In-N-Out and Five Guys
They're
because
two
no one
different
wanted to let it
things.
go.
It's like comparing
In-N-Out,
Chick-fil-A.
100% In-N-Out.
In-N-Out. I can't.
In-N-Out.
I did Five Guys when I was in Utah when Shannon and I were driving. I did Five Guys. The fries are better. I will 100% give you that.
Yeah.
The fries are better, but definitely not the burger.
But isn't it like in Utah, it's just like beer's not really beer up there. It's probably the same thing with In-N-Out.
You have to buy
Yeah,
your-
you're too far away from the source, dude.
Yeah,
When
exactly.
you
No,
buy
no,
your
I meant
beer,
Five
it
Guys.
has
I
like
had
special
Five Guys
pajamas
in
you have to
Utah.
take
I
off
didn't have
before you can
In-N-Out.
drink it.
Oh, he had
Yeah.
Five Guys, not In-N-Out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was like watered down up there because they
where's-
have to water
where's
down
Five Guys?
things.
Where's
It's-
Five Guys?
It's the
HQ,
Mormons,
though?
dude. I don't know why. Ask them.
It's their fault.
So
Anyways,
so we're
so what-
you guys in your tangents. I don't. This is so
Well,
odd for us.
I mean, the best part of the whole thing is we literally shut down the podcast halfway through.
Yeah, I
Shut
took
up.
my
Fuck
headphones
this.
and I said, I can't. I'm done. I can't.
Threw our headphones on the table.
Yeah.
And we set her on the fire in a quiet silence.
Pouted for like 20 minutes. I'm not kidding.
For
He's
20
not kidding.
minutes.
He's dead. He's serious.
Oh yeah, no, like literally, I was like in my head going, "Well, that was fun while it lasted." And I think by that point,
this Rick for
we
Dirt's
were-
over.
a year and a half or something. And,
Yeah. Actually,
And,
it was a year because it was Matt's birthday.
Oh, was it?
It was a year,
So
almost exactly.
No.
When did you guys put out your first episode?
In the end of January.
Was it?
Yeah, middle end of
2019?
January.
2019.
Yeah. So we're about to hit 3 years.
Oh wow.
Like
And
3-4
a lot of the
years of
initial
episodes.
episodes are kind of hazy for me because I think I was heavily drinking back then. Nowadays, I tend to relax a little bit, and especially like you'll get little kids. Like I got a little kid come up to me at the gas station on the way up to
Was it to Arizona?
the trail right here. No, what's that trail local right here that we went up
Cleghorn.
snowwheeling?
Cleghorn.
Lytle Creek.
Lytle
So-
Creek.
Oh, Lytle Creek.
Yeah, I'm at the gas station at Lytle Creek, and this kid, this mom stops her car, and there's this chubby, cute little kid with his glasses on in the passenger seat. And he rolls down his window, and I'm standing there waiting for my wife to get out of the bathroom from inside the gas station, and he's looking at me. And I walk over, I'm like, "Hey, what's up, buddy?" He goes, "I know your Jeep. I know you. I listen to you." I'm like, "Oh my God, your mom is such a bad mom." But he goes, "I listen to you," and I'm like, and it hit me and this is not that long ago. This is just a couple months ago, but it hit me like a fucking ton of bricks. I'm like, shit. There's 9-year-olds listening to me. I gotta continue to try to clean it up just a little bit.
They're like,
You know,
I gotta
it's so
increase
bad.
the swear words.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
I don't know. I mean, I was not expecting that. I was
Yeah, and then Kevin tells us that he listens to it in the Jeep
with his
on the
daughter.
road trip with his daughter. Yeah, and I'm like,
I don't even listen to my own show in the car with my daughter. Every once in a while, she'll get in and she'll be like, "What's Uncle Matt talking about?" I'm like, "Oh, we don't turn that off. We don't need to listen to that."
You don't ever listen to Uncle Matt.
You don't listen to Uncle Matt or Uncle Jose anytime ever. So January 2019, when you launched it in 2019, did you have a format plan and this is a structure, or were you just you know what, we're gonna do our thing?
No, we did it actually. We had an outline of what we thought we could cover. That went away by the fourth episode.
By third or fourth episode,
Yeah.
we had an outline where we had a notepad. I think both of us each had a notepad or our phones, and we would jot down just points that we wanted to bring up. Right.
Well, I
things that
mean, we were
wanted to hit.
nervous. We didn't know if we were going to
Totally.
remember whatever the hell it was we wanted to talk about. And we didn't realize how naturally this shit tends to flow once you kind of sit down with friends or each other. I'm sure you guys know. You just sit and you just start talking about whatever happened on the last trip or that one trip that you guys went on and had some catastrophic failure.
Yep.
Right there is 45 minutes of content that
Yep.
suddenly goes by in like what feels like 5 minutes, right? So
here's
we quickly learned that the best content and the best conversations were the organic conversations that we'd have with people when we were sitting there.
Yeah.
About organic meat.
Yeah. Another tangent. So at work, it's not uncommon for me to interview people, and I did this interview in the conference room, a couple other people, and at the end of it, one of the other guys on the team was like, "Dude, are you like an executive recruiter? How do you interview people?" And I was all, "Dude, I interview people weekly for fun. That's what what I do. Like that's how you just get to a point where you're just, oh, who are we talking to today? All right, let's go do it. Let's have a good time." You know what I mean? And I think, from the beginning, we've talked about making this a show. Like when we get somebody on the show, it's like we ran into each other on the trail. Hey, you got a cool rig. Let's have a conversation and get to know each other. And we approach everything like that. This community is amazing. We are, all of us here are very, very fortunate to have fallen into a community, fallen in love with a pastime and a hobby that garners such camaraderie and compassion in a community, right? So we get the benefit of being able to talk on a regular basis to the people in our community, which has, I'm sure you guys have experienced this, where, what your small group of quote unquote friends and group that you go wheeling with is now, how are we going to fit all of these people on the trail at the same time? Because you want to hang out with every single one of them. Yep. And Jose and I were just talking about winter expedition coming up, and we're thinking about doing a lottery system. So that's
well, the problem is that the inner circle has gotten so big. It's like, well, then there's no more spots for like other listeners to join.
Yeah. So,
no, you're totally right. Like we had the same. Before Rig for Dirt, when I used to do the meetups, I used to lead some trail runs, and that's just not possible anymore to have 20, 30 people show up, and all these trails are real narrow, and it becomes a disaster, and it's just a cluster to try and herd.
You just
that
end
many
up
cats.
apologizing a bunch on the radio, like,
right.
I'm sorry, guys, I got another U-turn. I totally thought I'd been here before.
Well, we did,
and God forbid someone have an issue, because then you've got 30 people stuck on a trail. Because nobody wants to leave, because nobody wants to be that guy.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to be there either, right?
We had 30 people on our Mojave Trail trip.
30 trucks.
70 people. 30 trucks on our Mojave Trail trip. And we really thought,
because it's a long, it stretches out, it's
totally.
And as much fun as it was, I don't think I had 3 words of conversation other than on the radio to these guys, because they were at opposite ends of the trail, and it was exhausting by the end of it. So I don't know that we'll ever be able to try to pull that off again. It's got to be
too hard. It's too difficult.
It felt like work. It felt like, hey man, am I getting overtime for this? This is like a holiday weekend, isn't it? Holiday day.
You're herding cats at a certain
herding
extent
cats
too.
With a bat. That's the saying.
With a bat.
Yes.
We did a Calico trip a year ago, 2 years ago? I can't remember.
That was 2 years ago.
We did the Doran Trail. And we went out with like a core group of like just 10 people who were the first people to like volunteer to want to come, and that's who we took, and that was it. And it was a manageable group. For an event like summer camp where you're dealing with like 80 rigs coming out to an event, and you have trail runs, but the trail runs were broken up into different segments.
Yeah.
I think it's all about just like getting people into groups and then going out over a period of maybe multiple days, like kind of like what they do up in Big Bear for the big Jeep Fest. It's like
exactly.
They keep them pretty local in terms of all the trails, and then they all go off and do their thing. One thing that I did that's coming up for next year that I partnered with Off the Grid. Off the Grid jumped all over the whole summer camp idea. So I'm like, okay, well, if we're going to expand this, I want to expand it like organically and with the right people. And that's another thing, right? You don't want anybody to show up. You want to kind of have your core group, and then, if you were to grow, you want people who are kind of vetted. So I made up a bunch of challenge coins, and they come in on like September, 27th. I'll get them. But I made challenge coins, and the challenge coins have like the Off the Grid logo on one side, the Rig for Dirt logo on the other. It says summer camp on it in 2022, right? Some other stuff. Well, every person who came this past time will get 2 coins. 1 coin they'll keep, and 1 coin they can give to a friend that they want to vet. I'll keep a log because they're all sequentially numbered. I'll keep a log of whoever gets which coins. And so if so-and-so is a total douchebag asshole, well, I'll know who invited them.
And that guy's disinvited for the next one.
I'll know we'll know exactly who vouched for him.
Yeah.
That's like the
it's your team.
That's how they used to do the longshoremen. Like you had to be a family member to get a ticket.
It's kind of a union, yeah. So
it really kind of is like a union. Like, I mean, it's funny because Ollie and I talked about that for a while. I don't know, it might be a sore subject, so I don't want to dive too much into it, but we always used to joke about how we had all these great trips and we never had any bad experiences until one time someone brought a friend and shit went sideways.
Ooh. And that was
and ever since then it's like no more. Like that's it. Like, I mean, it was such a bad, not even awkward. It was just a sketchy, really bad situation.
Well, I had one of my kids with me, my youngest, and a guy decided he wanted to drink really heavy, really quick. That actually he drank so fast that nobody even saw him get drunk.
Oh, wow.
He was like he went from 0 to hammered in like 30 minutes.
And in the middle of a podcast, he started heckling and saying stuff, and I said, "Hey, let's hear from the peanut gallery." And
peanut gallery,
to set it off. And then we had a drunk guy with a gun, who wanted to drive away, who was a veteran. With all due respect, like doesn't really excuse you for being an idiot. We had to deal with some shit, and I ended up staying up until like 3 a.m. that night with my own gun, sitting next to my kid in my tent, staring at this guy's truck as it idled.
Yeah,
that was the sketchy part. Is I was actually camped right next to him.
Yeah,
and so I didn't sleep a lick that night because after he finally calmed down from trying to pack up his rooftop tent, he's like, "I'm out of here, I'm leaving." And it's like, "Dude, you're fucking hammered. You can't go." And there's a checkpoint on the highway. Like that you're going to drive by. So you're for sure going to get popped. It's not even a question if you even make it that far, right? Because you had to off-road and wheel some pretty sketchy stuff just to get out. And so once that all cooled down, he then got in his cab, turned it on, and he idled until like 4 a.m. He was awake. I'd hear him jump out. I'd hear him wrestle around. I'd hear him jump back in. And I mean, I didn't sleep either. I mean, it was just...
So we had like our... comparable situation was
it wasn't anywhere near.
It was not,
this was comparable. Was a friend of the show, I guess. Whatever. He got drunk lightning quick. Same thing. Like, dude, what happened to? I don't want to say his name. But he started telling stories about gummy bears. And where the gummy bears.
And how many you can fit in certain places.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was horrendous. But
you just want him to stop.
He ended up tripping over the campfire, puking on the ground. We put him to bed, and that was it.
But then I'm up at.
He's a legend now.
I go to bed early on these trips. I wake up at like 6 o'clock, and he's gone. And everybody's like, "Wait, how did he drive away?" And we're like, "I don't know." And apparently,
no one heard him leave.
I guess not. And
wow.
Yeah, we weren't afraid to go to sleep. I mean, I guess that was a positive thing. It was like, we put him to bed, and then when we all got up, he was gone.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Well, the problem with your situation is that one, like your guys' safety, and then two, if he were to drive out, that's a liability on everyone on the road for himself, and then if something were to happen, it'd be on you guys too, because
that's a good wife, by the way.
Yes.
Because it's on you guys, and then it's like who organized the trip, and then it just turns into a whole mess at that point.
Well, I mean, look, it was a shitty situation, but what it did also was make me realize how fortunate we've been, and how a lot of us are super fortunate that, like Cody was saying, is like the community is so like it's an outlier when that happens.
It is. It really is.
Yes.
This community is so solid and so tight, and it's very small, so there's not a lot of room to be that guy because you'll be cast out pretty quick.
You're gonna spit out real quick.
Yeah. Sure. And it makes me appreciate the fortunate opportunities we've had to do really cool things with people and the great experiences that we have, which are predominantly like 99% of the time.
Yeah.
It's just that 1% where suddenly something goes a little off. And we'll probably see it more as it becomes even more popular. But I think that's why, to me, we were talking about how do you expand that core group? You just have to come up with some clever gimmick that will keep it tight and keep it organic. And, Rick for Dirt, we've been really fortunate that we have a really solid community behind us. And, even talking to you guys and seeing what you guys have done, like I can see the same thing with, Trailchasers. It's like you have to keep it tight. You have to keep it tight, and you have to be a little exclusive. And people don't like to be elitist, but that's the only way you make sure that the right people stay together. And if there's people worth your time or worth the group's time, they'll make their way in. Like Hop. We talked about Hop.
I was just about to say that. I go, look at Hop. I mean,
I invited Hop out to summer camp. He had a blast. He had a great time, and he's not industry, but he's like so active and so supportive, and just makes you feel happy when you get a little message from him in your DMs or whatever. Like, he's just part of the community, and he's part of like the soul of what makes this a family. I've always stressed it's kind of like a family. Like I said, you won't go up to some guy with his ground tent and be like, "Hey, bro, cool tent, let's hang out."
Right. Yeah.
But I'll look at you, I'll drive up to you in my Jeep and see your 4Runner or whatever, or your FJ, and be like, "Bro, that's a sick rig. Let's talk." And we talk, and we might even know some of the same people because we kind of have the same circles, and suddenly we're going up on a trail together, and hanging out.
You might know Cody's sister-in-law. Who knows?
Yeah.
Right.
And I think the advantage that you guys have, and that I think that's worked to our advantage, is that if you listen to the show, our personalities, everything we do, everything we talk about, it's 100% true. It's who we are.
It's juvenile humor.
Yeah. So if you like fart jokes, if you're an old chubby dude that likes fart jokes, you're gonna fit in. Like, that's just like, what you're getting. Whereas like if you just see a club on Facebook and you have minimal interaction, like live actual interaction with people, you could be surprised at what you find when you get there. But for us, we meet people for the first time, and it's like, they've heard us talk for, hundreds of hours. They know exactly who we are. They know about our families. They know what we're into. They know what the inside jokes, and immediately there's a connection, and we're able to.
Scaring me a little bit.
I'm just saying, we've talked about how we've been very fortunate.
I never thought of it like that before.
We've
had those conversations with people when we've met them through
either Easter Jeep Safari, bro.
Yeah, Easter Jeep Safari, where people, I've received comments where they're like, "Wow, you sound just like you're on the podcast." And I go, "That's because that's who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not. There's no characters here. Like, there's no personas. We're not pretending to be somebody else. Like if you met a radio show DJ, right? Like, there's no persona. We're just being ourselves and having conversations. And so, I'm going to talk to you the same way I would talk to anybody else.
Right. Yeah, 100%. The weirdest thing for me was walking. It was at EJS. We had just gone to some meetup, and we're on our way to, there was a pizza joint.
It was up at Jeeps of Instagram or something like that.
Yeah, Jeeps of Instagram, coming from there. And I'm talking to Frank and whoever we were walking with, and somebody goes, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I recognize your voice." And that to me was the weirdest thing. Like,
that was funny.
I'm like, shit, I do sound the way I think I sound. And,
I can't say anything anymore.
Just bizarre.
So you guys have been doing this for a handful of years. If you were to look back at the beginning in episode 1 through 5, is this what you expected? I mean, are you living the dream, or is this entirely different than what you expected, or are you just happy of what you've been able to create to this point?
Personally.
Yeah, I'll go. I think it's continuing to get better. It's like a fine wine. Like, it just continues to mature and just grow. Like, when we first started, it was just a hobby to do something cool. And for me, primarily, it was just a way I could get back to some sponsors too, and continue the content to be out there. And I wasn't 100% sold on the podcast piece. I was like, yeah, it sounds good. Let's do it. Let's try. Frank was very passionate about the podcast. So I would say he really pushed it hard. I thought, video had to be the way. And, hindsight being 2020, I'm like, shit, dodged a bullet there, because, it's been impossible to, like you said, Jose, having hours upon hours of content that I've done nothing with outside of Instagram or TikTok,
Yeah.
It's hard. So the podcast and Frank taking point on the editing has been a godsend. And I think it's just, we've organically kind of gone with it. And we weren't like, day one, like, hey, somebody needs to pay us money. But we were fortunate enough that as we got a little bit of the way into it, rig supply, actually, my buddy Luke over there, who's become a friend of Frank and mine, and Jason, they supported us. We talked to them at Overland Expo, and they're like, yeah, we're into it. We're down.
Let's do it.
They supported us for a year, and they were our first sponsor. And that's what kind of paved the road for Frank and I think, to take ourselves a little bit more seriously. And then it grew from there. We got Rebel, DeMello, and Milestar involved. And, and I know you guys have Nexen and Icon. It's like when you get these people who support you and who want to see you continue growing what you've built, I mean, that in itself, the value of just their support, let alone their dollars, is huge. And that grew it a little bit more, and it got us a little bit more confident. And then, going back to the original thread where it's like Rig for Dirt then became consolidated with Frank's meetups, and we labeled the Orange County meetups under RFDOC. And then I'm like, and then my whole strategy is growth. Like, that's what I do. I'm a brand guy. So I'm like, Frank, what do you think about growing? And he goes, yeah, let's grow. And I'm like, okay, let's do San Diego and let's do LA. And we started LA with KC at the time in the Gardena headquarters. It was small, but it was a great turnout. Like, we had Rebel bring out their flex ramp. It was bitching. Mm-hmm. And so we started there, and then COVID hit and everything shut down. And we still had plans. We were about to launch San Diego with Rhino Adventure Gear at the time.
It was like literally the weekend that San Diego shut down.
Yeah.
Ended up shutting down, yeah.
And that literally was the week that it shut down. And I think we had our camp out that same week. And that was
right before, yeah.
Right before. And that was the final event before we were just, fully locked.
I remember we came back from that camp out, from that anniversary camp out, to find out, because we were gone camping all weekend, right? So we were not on social. We weren't watching the news. And when we came back, I remember all of us were messaging each other going, whoa, so everything is shutting down, like, tomorrow.
Dude, you can't buy toilet paper. Like, I didn't even understand.
You can't. I remember that. We came back and we're like, so there's no toilet paper at the store.
This is a thing?
I was going to put a bidet in my house. I swear to God.
I remember Matt trying to...
What the shit, man?
Matt said he was going to outthink everyone by buying toilet paper at Home Depot, but...
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's right. I got an inside track at Home Depot, guys.
Planks. Real thing, bro. Real thing.
Dude, the Compton, it's like the Rite Aid in Compton has toilet paper, like we were like, like Sam from Dead Man was like, hey bro, like if you need toilet paper or anything, like Escondido, we still got some, like
there were seriously like inside lines on TP. It was pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
We had a text with a couple neighbors like, who's going, who's found some, you know what I mean? It was same deal.
The inside track was real.
But it was like that for us. Like, we literally went to this camp out. We came back and the world had changed.
Yeah.
And then we got shut down. And then, recently we got things back up. And, Rhino Adventure Gear, Juiced over there, like, he's very concerned about COVID because he's got some, elderly family members and whatnot. And I don't think he realized we were really building a monthly event. So we may still do something with him, like as a one-off, but we ended up having to find another partner out in the down south. And that came in the form of Off the Grid Surplus. Mm-hmm. And so now we have a monthly meetup in Escondido with them. And that's on the third Saturday of every month.
Yeah, don't you have like 2 events the same weekend or something?
I heard you guys talking about third Saturday, second Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, that was like
fourth moon rising when Mercury is in the retrograde. Is okay.
Yeah, you had the second Sunday of the month was also the same weekend as the first Saturday of the month.
Yeah.
So you had we had back-to-back OC.
So basically, you guys are 1.21 gigawatts. You're gonna cross over
exactly. We had to find the clock tower. Yeah, totally.
I think it's really interesting listening to you talk about the trajectory of the show and the community, and then how COVID changed that, because we've talked about it a little bit too. We were on
for us.
Yeah. I mean, look, when you go from 12 people to 15 people, that's a significant spike in listeners.
Yeah, so, a 30% increase.
Yes. Thank you. Look at the brain on this guy. That's 30%.
That's what we were telling Nexen. Like, hey, we just jumped 30%.
This guy was going to be a math teacher, and Frank over here comes out with the percentage.
He actually has books behind him, bro.
Yeah, so, but we were on a trajectory that was really opening doors, and we were having background conversations with people above and beyond our sponsors, and then boom, world crashes, everything you know what I mean? And it just changed. It changed community events. It changed the opportunity to get to with people. There was a couple career changes in the background.
Yeah, I was getting ready to sell my house.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, wow.
No.
But it's funny how, we've been talking about recently with Off-Road Expo coming up in October and SEMA in November, like it feels like the momentum is kicking back in, like the excitement is kicking back in, the opportunities are kicking back in, and we are we're looking forward to that. What do you guys have coming up? I mean, other than the monthly meetups at all those locations, what are you guys working on? Like, what are the next big things for the show?
I mean,
we've got a few things in that are in the hopper, and I mean, right in the near term, it's a lot of what's that?
We could talk about it.
I mean, in the near term, it's a lot of events, right? Because like you said, right, these are all coming up. I've got a big trip that I'm leaving for on Friday. And so I'll be gone for 2 weeks, going through Colorado with the guys from Rebel Off-Road. Nice. So that'll be really fun. And then once we get back, I think, what's that?
So fun.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be on that trip.
Yeah, Ollie was supposed to be on that trip, exactly. And but once we get back, I mean, we're gonna hit it pretty hard. Ollie's working on a product that we should see coming out here in the next couple of weeks. It'll be a play on usefulness as well as and every bit as fun at the same time.
Shake weight?
That sounds like Matt. He's got some usefulness and every bit as fun. Like no matter how you slice it.
We're trying to launch it on Friday. We'll see how far we get on it.
All right.
Yeah. So definitely check out the website. We'll have some fun with it. It's something that you'll definitely want to keep in your garage, and it'll probably come in handy more than a couple times during projects.
Shake weight.
We're working with Overland, Milestar, Tread Lightly on our cleanup. So the cleanup piece has been near and dear to both me and Frank. Any opportunity I had back when I was working at KC, and by the way, I think I already said no longer working with KC, but definitely pushed to get more involvement with Tread Lightly. We actually did a whole series of videos to talk about the tread principles and what have you. So I want to continue that with what we do with Rick for Dirt, with Frank. Frank's already been, a huge advocate of that whole mentality and that lifestyle. So we're going to work with them. We're going to do a cleanup out in Joshua Tree. I'll probably refrain from dropping a date right now just in case anything changes with this current situation and climate, but everything's in place and we'll see. And we'll probably be announcing in the next, I don't know, few weeks, I would say.
Yeah, probably a few weeks once I get back.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to overflow and have like our 12 people out there and show up.
Yeah.
I would love to have you. And we also have something I like to think a little unique. So the idea came about when I was talking to Ernie, and then Frank and I spoke, and we talked about the shit that we end up getting left over in our garages or driveways when we do builds. And I've got pretty much an entire Icon suspension, well, at least an arm kit for a Jeep JK, sitting in my driveway. And then soon I'll have a supercharger for sale. But there's a lot of shit like that. That's just kind of
all of us collect stuff, right?
Yeah.
We do projects and
I have a stock,
even camping gear.
Yeah, I have Bilstein shocks, for the stock 80.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
So
I have some old fold-up chairs.
Dude, bring it. So
I have a couch.
I
have a couch in my garage. Maybe that'll help.
The one you can't clean? The one that's tough to clean?
I don't want the orange. But we're gonna partner with Torco, and so it's gonna be Torco and Rick for Dirt present the show and swap, off-road show and swap.
Oh, nice.
So it'll be at their facility here in Ontario, which is literally 10 minutes from us in Eastville.
Yep.
And 15 minutes, whatever.
I'll have to leave the morning before to get there, but yeah.
I mean, so in our YouTube chat room, someone already wants to buy your Icon JK kit.
Oh, really?
I got some King Springs for a 4runner FJ.
Hey, take it easy, buddy. I need to sell this stuff.
Hey, but the guy that wants to buy it, I want you to charge him at least double.
Yeah, whatever your price was, double it for that guy.
Yeah, at least double for that guy.
I'm gonna hang on to it for the show and swap. So I'll be bringing that out with me, and hopefully we'll be able to fill up like at least I would say like 80 spots for people to come. And essentially, you know how normally when you have a meetup, everyone backs into a spot. We're gonna have people just go front end into a swap, open up their trunks, and just sell. Like each vehicle will be a spot. You come check out the rigs, but you can also buy from them. And I don't know about you guys, but whether it's hard cases, radios, whatever you got, like there's something out there for somebody. Like you said.
It'll be like Pomona. You guys ever been in Pomona?
Yeah, once I think the Pomona Show and Shine.
The Show and Shine.
Yeah. Art LeBeau, right?
No, he's
I've never been there.
Art LeBeau. Wow.
Didn't Art LeBeau did one of those?
No.
Sorry,
man. I haven't heard that name in a while.
So you don't have a date for that yet, or?
Yeah, well, it's going to be October 30th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so that one we have a date.
And this is for us, I think, like another kind of underscores what we like to do as Rig for Dirt and be very community focused, right? Like this is a way for us to I mean, I guess more than anything, we want to be just enablers for the community to take action, right? Whether it's coming together or cleaning up or getting to know each other and having conversations and making plans and trips and things like that, right? Like we want to be these kind of enablers and create these situations for that to happen, right? And the show and swap is a really good place for us to say, look, we all have the problem. Most of us have the problem of our significant others wanting us to free up space in the garage, and hopefully get some money out of that space if possible, from all the money that we spent.
Wait, you guys have that problem? Because my significant other is filling up the garage with shit all the time.
Oh, really?
So like I feel like furniture and decorations only last about 3 months in my house, and then they get changed out for something else, and all ends up in my garage. Matt, is that an unclear? Am I wrong?
No, that's 100% accurate.
So I'm the one trying to get the shit out of the garage, but no one else wants to buy it. Oh, Matt's hour ran out.
Just
dropped.
Oh man, I ran out of change. I forgot to put it in the machine.
Something with Matt's computer. So Matt's sitting at the desk.
7:30. There it is.
And exactly 1 hour into every episode.
Thanks for coming on, guys. I'll talk to you guys next
Matt's
time.
video cuts out, and
I would like to say
I would like to say that wasn't planned, but we're done with him. I think at this point.
Yeah. So I mean, that show and swap, like that's kind of the idea, right? Is that we let people clear out some space, get rid of some stuff that's just collecting dust, and put it to good use, and have someone else get a solid deal on something, and in the process, hopefully get to know each other and have additional conversations, right? And like start building those relationships. And so ultimately, empowering and strengthening the community. And that's really kind of been the driver for Rig for Dirt from the start. And now that Matt's here, we can go back to
Matt's back.
Hey guys, they let me back in. I went to the change machine.
Oh, he froze again.
And he probably froze.
I'm gonna have to update your computer.
Email sucks, dude. I don't know about you guys, but the connection out here is garbage. Like whether it's cell or your cable speed, like I've not had good luck.
Really, I don't know. We make it work. We make it work.
Do we?
Yeah.
Do we?
I'm working.
Yeah.
I'm working just fine. So the events, you guys. Hold on a second.
What
we
just
have
happened?
2 minutes.
Dude.
Dude's
I'm taking over now.
It's like I need 2 pictures.
And that friend tells a friend, and that friend tells a friend.
That's why you guys have connection problems. You're over there cloning yourself.
Yeah, Matt's duplicating himself.
I figured it out, guys.
You just log in 3 times.
I figured it out. It's my show now.
So the events. I mean, you guys have really developed the skill sets to be able to do this really well. And I mean, what's your advice for knuckleheads like us that want to pull events off? Like, how do you guys make those events go so well?
You want me to
They go well.
Look,
they're supposed to go
I'm
well.
making the assumption that they're going well.
All right, I got one word for you, and it's called waiver.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna spend any money at any point of wanting to throw an event or do events, spend the money with legal and get a waiver that's pretty bulletproof together. Now, you can always be sued, and you can always like incur damages from somebody who really wants to push. And even if you're right, they can pull quite a few $1,000s out of you just through litigation. Even if they
may not get it personally, but they'll still pull it out of you.
Yeah.
But with a waiver, at the minimum, at least people understand like what they're getting into, what the risks are, even though it's clear as day. Like anyone who goes to any off-road event knows if you're dealing with vehicles and you're dealing with trails and you're dealing with whatever, there's a chance shit will go down. I mean, shit at summer camp, forget the vehicles. We had a crazy ass lightning storm that came blowing through camp. Literally,
that's right.
The most dark red purple point of the storm was like right over Dogtown Lake where we had the event at, and it was the first time I've ever jumped out of my tent at like 12 o'clock at night and into my cab. I've never done that before, and I've always laughed at people who did.
Wow.
I've got a habit of laughing at people for things. And I keep getting
experiencing.
Usually we laugh at ourselves.
Lightning storms, whatever. And yeah, I'm not fucking with a lightning storm. And like it was crashing around us, and somebody could have gotten hit, or a tree could have fallen on them. They could have died. That would have been a major issue. So what you really need to do as an event organizer is understand there's going to be risk, and to accept the fact that there's going to be things out of your control that you cannot help. And if it's important enough to you to continue to move forward with throwing that event, then you're the right person to do it. If you have any qualms, if you get cold feet or whatever, maybe it's not for you, because events are hard.
Yeah.
And events come with a lot of like wild cards and unknown factors.
And I think we can all also add to that if you're going to get into an event or you think you're going to have fun doing the event, you're not.
You're not.
You're going to be working from the beginning. And no one, if you grew up having parties and throwing parties, then you know that no one has fun at their own party.
Yeah.
Period. You're constantly running around, policing, herding sheep, refilling, restocking, making sure everyone else is having a good time, right? But not you. And that's one of the things that, like, especially even with the meetups, even something as simple as the meetups, one of the things that quickly became apparent once they grew to a size where you were getting 20, 30, 40 plus people up to 100, is at that point I was no longer having those 20, 15-minute conversations with guys about their builds, where they've been, where they're going. At that point, the entire 3 hours became 3 hours of 15 to 30-second conversation.
Yeah.
And just moving, and then also saying, "Hey, don't park over there. Hey, let's leave room for this other business to get in and out." Right? And I mean, that's also like between what Ollie's saying and then
that's not a bathroom, sir. That's a Ford.
Right.
What a dick. Yeah, our last.
No, you can't throw your trash in that XJ. Or maybe you can.
Our last event, our Mojave Trail trip. I put together waivers for the first time, and it literally said, "You may die on this trip." Like, I mean, like,
right,
injury up to and including death. You should. And then my first driver's meeting was, if you're here, you've made a bad decision, and you shouldn't do this. This is a bad idea.
It's not too late.
Not too late to turn around. But yeah, there's a lot to that, where it's a lot more, where, like we talked about earlier. I don't remember if it was on the mic or not, but with 30 people on the Mojave Trail, it was exhausting. And
30 rigs.
Yeah.
30. I'm sorry, I keep saying people. 30 rigs. Yeah. But you guys keep doing it though. I mean, you guys, and it's impressive that you're able to pull it off and find growth in it.
Right. I mean, I think one thing that's really fortunate is we've created such a community that oftentimes other people are pitching in just because they want to be part of it and they want to help. And it's like allowing that to happen and not having any ego and just letting the community kind of be part of the event unfolding. I mean, at our camp out, I think the only gripe I had with some of the people helping us was the way that they wanted to build the fire. And I'm like, no, fuckers, we got to build it this way. Yeah. And that was like a non-negotiable. But beyond that, it's like, you'd be surprised by how willing people are to be involved and wanting to be part of it.
I'm the guy in the background with a beer in his hand, like, look at these guys fighting over fires and stuff.
Mark, who was on our
trip. You guys
trip,
want to do work.
Yeah, Mark, who was on our trip on Mojave, made the point that everyone helped out. We had a couple breakdowns. We had, at any given point, we've talked about this, it was, hey, you're now taking the lead, take this group here, you know what I mean? And everybody... That's, we're very, very fortunate with our groups so far that we've had that, and everybody that comes on is a team member by default, and it's worked out really well. And we had, like I said, we had two significant breakdowns that everybody pitched in and took care of, and none of them were me. So they were, but it's, I mean, it's. That's part of it, bro. I mean, I think those types of events, when someone hits a rock and takes out both tires on one side of their vehicle, and 6 people merge onto that
like
truck,
a NASCAR
get it jacked up.
Dude.
We're taking the spare tire
right?
off of this truck and the spare tire for this truck, and it's like that's what builds that camaraderie in that community.
100%.
Right? And it's always a lot of fun.
Did you put that rock out there?
No, I was the one saying, "Watch out!"
It was
for
a
the
team
rock.
building exercise.
Yeah, exactly. Hey guys,
How funny!
he's just winging rocks and trucks.
We're gonna sell corporate tickets. Look, you got to drive this way really fast and run right over that rock.
You put the razor blades on the trail, right?
Yes, the spike strips.
Frank, were you there when we got all the firewood for camp? Did you see that happen?
This last time?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. There was a point, and it was probably one of my favorite points, like just on the organization side, where Turtleback Trailers gave me like $200 cash to go buy just as much firewood as I could from the camp hosts. And I went and we filled up the back of I want to say it was Sam's truck. I don't know, may not have been. It was somebody's truck. Sam was with me from Dead Man, and we got a shitload of wood. We got back to camp, and literally we made a line from the back of the bed all the way to the fire pit, and it was a chain, and it was literally just throwing sacks of wood to the next guy. And I'm like, that's what it's really all about, is like.
And you didn't have to tell anybody either, did you? They just lined up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I had to yell at people to space out more because nobody knew how to space themselves out. But yeah, like everyone came to help. Like the coming to help was there. The coordination, you always have to coordinate. So I think a key point of any event is having one person really kind of run the show, and then having a point person to run things with that guy. And in your guys' case, you have 3 of you, so that's a good number. I had Christina Lupi help.
We have one.
I don't really count, and I know it.
I'm
and
telling
I know
you right now, and I'm including my brother in this. Yeah, so it's you're overestimating Matt's contribution.
But yeah, you have one guy on point, you have one other person, handling other things that one person can't do, and then it's pushing the community to come, and coordinate. And then one thing, my first event that I did was super structured, and I got some feedback that it was too structured, right? Especially with the Overland community, they like to be nomads and like do their thing.
Yeah.
Well, this time around, I had fucking no structure, right? Because it was like I was saving the event, and I had a plan. Like I actually had a full back end reservation system with KC. That all went to shit. Like threw it out the window. And so when it came time for the event, it was very free flowing. There were some like events that happened. Like we had a Gunfighter Canyon where people got to go shoot machine guns, and like I basically paid for everyone to go throw axes and shoot machine guns. It was a highlight of everybody's fucking experience.
That's pretty badass.
That for me was
pretty
when
badass.
we were kids. Well, when we
Yeah.
were kids, we used to shoot rifles, right?
Yeah.
22 rifles at camp. If you guys ever went to camp, like, well, this was the grown-up version of that. And
sometimes Cody will buy
I was
his
instantly
burritos.
grinning like an 8-year-old.
What's that?
Grinning like an 8-year-old when I shot.
Yeah, everybody was so. But it's like you set a schedule. I think you need talking to Martin from Milestar, like we kind of came up with a cool plan that he suggested, which was organize the key events around meal times. So breakfast, lunch, dinner. Those are non-negotiable things, like where you have a specific event that everyone's going to participate in, or maybe 2 events you're going to break people up into groups. But that's the time when people are going to do the events. Beyond that, we had inflatable kayaks and stand-up paddleboards. We had fishing poles on hand. We had the bikes. We had a lot of shit that people can do off times. And then my other suggestion would be your first day of your event, if it's a multi-day event, have the first day be some kind of team building thing where it's like, whether it's tug of war or some kind of competitive thing that gets people clicked off in large groups and has them building like rapport right off the bat, because that's worth its weight in gold right there, because that'll set the tone of rivalry, of camaraderie for the rest of the weekend.
The last thing you want to do is have people kind of clicking up with people they know and then just kind of doing their thing, right? And so if you can establish that early on, then you can set the tone, like all you said, for the rest of the weekend or the day.
We used to start every event with trying to get Casey's ZJ started and on the trail, and now he's got a new vehicle, so we don't know what to do. Like that's and you know what?
The ritual has been
we gotta find us
who brought jumper cables?
The other part of that is you talk about structure. So I am a spreadsheet flowchart itinerary nerd. I love it, and I will create an itinerary, and I distribute the itinerary, and it's very specific, and I do it only for me.
Nobody looks at it.
I do it for me so that I feel like I'm prepared, and I know none of these fuckers are going to listen to any of it. They're not going to read it. They're not going to open it. But at least I know it's been done. So when everything goes haywire and completely off the rails, I can say, you didn't follow the itinerary. It's not my fault.
But you're the one that gets lost all the time. That's what's funny.
Shut it.
It's your itinerary.
Because it's an itinerary, not a map.
Yes.
Oh, no. It has a map.
No, it has a map.
It has a
That's the
map
It
with
has a
stops
map
and everything.
with coordinates and everything, and I still mess it up.
No, it's funny because that's exactly how my wife is. Like, she plans everything to like the nth degree. She'll make like spreadsheets and she'll put formulas in them and all kinds of crazy stuff.
So
right, like it's.
I'm sorry,
it's
Cody brought
nuts.
up my running out of gas on the 40. This guy brought a spreadsheet to play a round of golf. I shit you not.
Wow.
Yeah, he looked at the yardages on every hole prior to us playing. I'm going to start off with a 5-iron on this tee.
I got a
lay it up.
17% chance of.
Go ahead and do that. Let's work that spreadsheet. You got worked by that spreadsheet.
Hey, look, the mathematical equations in the spreadsheet didn't lie. Unfortunately, the clubs, there was something wrong with them. I don't know what the problem was.
Someone
Right.
yours.
Yeah,
can I ask a question real quick? How did you guys start out?
How did you guys meet?
Oh shit! Well,
I was a creeper.
I've been banging Cody's sister for
a long time. Yeah. So I started the website in 2014. And just kind of, I wanted to do something. I wasn't real happy at my job, and I wanted to do something creative, and I wanted to build a community around off-roading. And originally this was just going to be a website to where I could plan trips and share photos and stuff with my buddies on trips. And then in 2015, I started doing guest spots on the Jeep Talk Show. I think it was the XJ Talk Show at that time. And then in 2016, I started the show myself as a one-on-one interview show, which I had Josh from Off the Grid on like episode 3. I mean, we've talked about getting him back on. But it was fun, and it was interesting for me to be able to do those interviews, but it didn't have it was missing something. It wasn't what I was looking for. And so I kind of just let it sit. I had a baby at the time, and then a couple surgeries and all kinds of stuff. And then Matt, so I've known Matt. When did you start dating my sister?
2007.
Yeah. So Matt
dating.
Yeah. Matt fell into my sister in 2007.
Oh shit!
And
oh my god!
And I don't think she's listening. So
she doesn't listen. Don't worry.
So
even if she did, she'd be laughing.
Yeah,
so.
she would. She'd find it funny. So, but I remember meeting Matt, and I told my sister, if you fuck this up, I'm still going to hang out with Matt. Like I don't care. So we started doing a lot of our dirt bike rides and off-road trips, and he started coming into the group and started doing more of it. And then I
impressed him with my dirt bike
prowess. Let me tell you, he's like, if you could imagine
all those
Thor,
skills.
If you could imagine Thor on a Suzuki, that's what Matt is like. Like
Fat
that's
Thor.
That's
Fat Thor.
Yeah, Fat Thor.
Fat
Thor.
Thor.
Yeah.
Oh, Fat
The good
Thor.
one.
Yeah.
The good one.
It was nice.
Yeah. Fat
That
Thor on a
sounds like
Suzuki.
a compliment.
That was a really nice compliment.
I'm 100% taking this as a compliment.
There's actually on the Trailchasers YouTube page, one of the very first videos, you have to scroll all the way down. There is a video of Matt and I riding dirt bikes in Glamis, and you can see the epic Fat Thorness.
My prowess on a bike.
So then I had stopped doing it, and we were just having a conversation, and he was wanting to get into wheeling, and they had just bought a Renegade, and I was like,
Renegade.
I know. I was like, I've been wanting to start the show back up, but I haven't. I've been really, not sure what to do. And the idea of having someone I could play off of and have these conversations with.
Talk shit about.
So July 4th of 2018, we recorded our first episode with just Matt and I, and that was July 4th, and then in September. So then in October, we had met Jose
You threw a trail run.
We did a trail run, and we met Jose. He came on that run, and he hung out with. And it's funny thing is the first trail run we ever did.
Was in like Encinitas or something?
It was in Big Bear. And my wife.
Oh, I think I heard that episode.
My wife and Matt's wife were literally at the coffee shop.
There's nobody going to be there.
No one's going to show up. There's not going to be anybody there.
Nobody listens to these buffoons. These two morons.
They're like these guys are going to be crushed when they're here by themselves.
And they were going to savor every moment of it.
3 of them are in the same room in Antarctica.
Right.
So Jose came on that, and we had a really good conversation with him. Just a cool dude. And like 2 weeks later was the Off-Road Expo, and Matt and I couldn't go because we were doing something else. And we were like, hey, didn't Jose go? And I had his number, and I was like, hey, did you go to the expo? And he's like, yeah. He's like, cool, we're going to call you right now. You want to be on the show? And he's like, all right. I said, you want to be on the show? When? I'm going to call you right now in 5 minutes. So with like 5 minutes notice, he became our man on the streets. So Jose just instantly was like, we called him the man on the streets because he was doing the reports. And then
I did the one report. Yeah. Ever since then, it's me as the man on the street. Jose's just the guy I banter off of.
The funny, so that was October, and then I went to SEMA that year. It's now 2018. So I went to SEMA that year, and Matt couldn't go, and I went, fuck you, I'm going to take Jose. I called Jose, you want to go to SEMA? So he came to SEMA with me, and Matt's at home, and after that, Jose was just on the show.
Cussing out Jose the whole time. This MFer.
So he's just been on the show since. We've tried to get rid of him a couple times. It doesn't work.
We've told him he has to buy the new Frontier or he's off the show. So let's see what happens.
Yeah. But that's it. And it was just, it was a lot of, we're gonna just have some fun and do this. And it's just grown from there. And I think that similar to you guys, our ability to just have fun and make fun of each other and not take anything seriously. And look, all three of us will admit we're not technical wizards. We're not like I haven't rebuilt an engine. We have garage mechanic technical capabilities we've installed in suspension systems and all that stuff. And it's really easy to.
I've gotten really frustrated and thrown lots of tools.
Yes, he's thrown a lot of shit.
I've thrown tools around.
If you need
anybody's garage,
if you need to get something cleaned up, my brother will show up with bug spray and hit it with bug spray for some reason. That's a whole nother story.
That's my pre-paint preparation.
Yes, don't use bug spray in suspension installations. I'm just telling you from experience.
Hey, has anything happened to the Frontier since?
No, it's been fine. It's been fine.
All right, thank you.
But and then my brother, who appears on the show from occasion, is an actual fabricator, works at a Jeep shop, works up in Big Bear, and like he's got the most capability and skill of all of us. So we default to him, and we need real intelligence. But
which shop?
He's at All J Products in Big Bear.
Okay.
And it's just been a lot of fun. And at one point we've sat down and had a lot of conversations about where we're going to go from here. But I think our primary goal is just to have a good time, connect with people in the community, throw a bunch of these runs. We're at the point where we're doing 3 to 4 large runs every year. Winter Expedition, Mojave Trail, the Kessel Run, and then Summer Expedition.
Kessel Run.
Yeah.
So the Mojave Trail. I don't know if you guys have done the Mojave Trail.
Yeah.
It's
many times
from the lava tubes to Razor Road, right? So that's the sandy wash area. So
I love that.
The gauntlet.
So fun.
Yeah.
So that's the very first year that Matt went on that in his stock Renegade that was 3 weeks old. He was like,
mind you, I've ridden my dirt bike in that area for 20 years,
Yeah.
so I know that part of the Razor Road area really well. So
he started.
I think every issue we've ever had has been between Razor Road and the lava.
Yeah.
Yes, that was it.
Yeah, both of the breakdans we had on Mojave was in that section.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's why I call them. That's the gauntlet right there.
Yeah.
Like if you can make it past the end of if you can make it to Razor Road, you'll be fine the rest of the way.
Yes.
You just need to make it to Razor Road.
So
Kessel Run.
Every year, the first year we did that in his Renegade, we called it Renegade Highway because Matt jumped on it on the Renegade like it was a Suzuki and was driving it like a dirt bike. It was phenomenal. And he was just flying by people, skipping on the top of the dunes.
Parallel trails and whatever.
Wow.
So we started joking around about it, calling it Renegade Highway, and then he went and got the Frontier, and we couldn't call it Renegade Highway anymore. And so we've now done a trip where we call it the Kessel Run. We camp at Razor Road, and it's literally haul ass out to the lava tubes, have lunch, haul ass back, and then camp for the night. And it's it's
the ongoing joke. Obviously, is if we can do it less than 12 parsecs.
Yeah, it's and we've had a handful of people join us, and it always becomes a thing. And it's
Kevin Jones.
Man, you're really tempting fate doing that run twice in one day.
Yes.
Holy shit!
I don't want to talk shit, but that Kessel run's my bitch.
It is.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm sure what you guys mean by hauling ass, you mean speed limit.
Yes,
treading lightly.
responsibly driving 10 and 2.
Totally.
Yeah,
10 and 2.
Right. Look, shit's only flown out of my truck a half a dozen times. Toilet coolers.
Yeah,
toilet paper.
Someone
During
has
COVID.
to drive and back to pick up the rest of Matt's shit.
I usually have people that are behind me that'll do it for me.
Or you could just leave a trailer behind in the middle of the lake bed.
You could just keep going and bury a trailer, mid-axle and just spend half your day digging it out with a shovel.
Yes.
The Mojave's been literally if the listeners or people watching haven't done it, I highly recommend the Mojave Road. I've now done it quite a few times. It's just an experience, and it's always unique.
Yeah.
There's always something different that you'll get from it. Some unique time that you'll get to the lava tubes and see the light shining through the hole at the right angle, or you'll see snow up in the New York mountains if you're there at the right time of year, which I got a chance to see, which blew my mind when you see snow on top of cactus.
Yep.
It's a bitchin' road, and
and if you come with us, you'll take a different route every time, even though we've done it 12 times. It's oh shit. We have a section, the beginning section, right across from the Avi when you start in Laughlin. There's this this section where you end up in a wash, and for the first
right
the first 2 years, it was like, oh shit, we're supposed to be on the other side of this mountain, and we cut over these mountains. Well, now that trail is so much fun. We intentionally go down to the dead end and then hang a right and go up and over. And I swear to you, I probably have 12 actual GPS tracks of doing this trip, and we've done it a different route every single time.
That's funny.
Sometimes intentional, sometimes not. This year, so when you come, when you cross Kelso Sema Road,
you go to the whoops,
and you go that hour of for 45 minutes.
The hour when you're going up.
No, we don't do that. No more. We bypass that.
No more. We found a bypass.
So if you go north,
I
didn't say where.
They got to come on the trip to see.
All right.
We found a bypass where I was literally doing 65. Like Baja jumping over rolling.
Wow.
It was so much. My daughter was like, go again. She was having so much fun.
He was. Everybody behind him was sitting in a cloud of dust. Hearing stories of yeehaw
those
over
whoops
the radio.
are no joke.
Those whoops
it's like
suck,
an hour
dude.
of
Yes.
That's the worst part of the trail. We found a way around it, and it takes 15 minutes.
Yeah, so think of the complete opposite of those whoops.
Yes.
It's not that far away from there.
I can share with you our trail map. That is from now on. That's the way we're gonna go.
Game changer.
But don't stop at the store because they will be pissed off at you.
Yeah. That's the way they should have done Mojave back in the 1800s.
Yes.
Instead of that stupid whooped out road.
Whoop-de-doo section. But
I always describe Mojave Road as like the easiest trail you'll ever do that will wreck your shit.
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
You know what's funny is we
just shake shit loose.
We had a couple people that were
an easy trail. There's nothing hard on that trail.
No.
Well,
You
say that, and we've said that every year. And then this year we had a couple new people come and someone that had a big trailer, and I'm like, it's flat. It's good the whole time.
Yeah, no.
About 20 minutes in, I was all, holy shit, I don't remember it being this difficult. Like, I don't remember this many twisties. And there are actually some sections that are pretty rutted out and twisty. And yes, you can do it at 5-10 miles an hour in almost anything. A two-wheel drive with a locker and back, you can even get through the sandy sections. But if you want to make it at a good 45 mile an hour pace, 35 mile an hour pace, you better have some suspension and some wheels, some tires.
Well, that's definitely the difference between a built and a stock vehicle.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
It's not always capability, it's speed.
Yes.
It's how you gain, the capability you gain is usually in speed.
And the problem with this year's trip was we had 30 rigs. So, I mean, even at 15 miles an hour, that's so many people just trying to go.
And we were
out of
2
radio.
miles,
We were out of
spaced
radio
out,
distance from the front to the rear.
Yeah.
Totally.
But it is one of our favorite trips. It is anybody that is anybody that's is not experienced. To your point, Ali, it's definitely something you should do. And We've done it both ways from Barstow into Laughlin.
That sounded weird.
And then from Laughlin into Barstow. We're bi-directional.
I mean, I'm not denying.
All three of us are bi-directional.
I did do it both ways.
You've done it both ways.
And I had a favorite.
Yes. But it's a lot of fun. And like I said, part of it's just being out there camping for 2 nights with your friends and your family, and it's a trip we bring our daughter on, and it's awesome.
It's cool for the kids with all the crazy desert shit that you see out there.
And
kids love that stuff.
If you can make it work, bring a telescope, because there are more stars out there than you could ever imagine.
No, we saw the Skylink or whatever,
right.
the
Starlink
satellites.
The
Starlink, yeah.
Yes.
It was crazy. We thought it was. I thought that my prayers were being answered, and the aliens were finally coming to take me away.
What I tell you,
they're
aliens
finally
and conspiracy
here.
theories.
Yeah, I had my laser pointed at them,
and we're there.
and they didn't want me. They just left me there with these guys. So,
Matt, have you ever been abducted?
Probe
God,
me.
I wish.
Probe me.
God, I wish.
He's waiting.
Not yet.
Wait,
I mean,
you have a beacon on your roof, don't you? Saying this guy.
There's a beacon somewhere.
Is that what it takes?
It would take
it
would take all of 15 minutes for them to go, nope, this isn't the specimen we're looking for. That's not.
Wait, he actually wants this.
Yeah.
He can't be in Fontana.
Yes.
Our specimen can't be a resident of Fontana. Fuck that. And then they just leave.
Automatic DQ.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm trying to find myself. I guess maybe Hemet. Hemet's probably the place you need to go to get abducted.
Apple Valley.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my. See, Ali knows, dude. That was going to be my next guess.
Hot
Apple
Springs,
Valley.
Apple Valley. Yeah.
Oh, shit. I
You're
apologize.
abducted
What
by
are you not saying, Ali? That came a little quick.
I
No,
apologize.
he
I've got
knows.
some stories from Apple Valley.
I
We're
apologize
simpatico.
to
He
all of your
knows.
listeners that live in Apple Valley or Hemet, because
What?
if you go back,
they don't
to
have
any,
internet, dude. They don't have internet. Don't worry
you
about
go back
that.
Yeah.
to
If
any
you're
of
listening to
our
Hot
this-
Springs, they have no idea what we're talking about.
The carrier pigeons are on their way back right now. We're good.
The opinions expressed by Matt is not representative of Trailchasers LLC.
It's a third or a quarter of
It's a
us,
good chunk, but yeah, he Matt feels that he has the right.
Those are only a handful of cities as a Fontana homeowner that I can talk shit about. Apple Valley and Hemet are 2 of them. I feel that I can wreck on and comfortably. Like, oh yeah, I'm above them for sure. No doubt.
There's a lovely hippie commune. I don't know if it's still there, but it was there like 20 years ago.
Go
Called
on.
Hot Springs. And they have a healer on site.
Gilman Hot Springs. Are you talking about the Scientology compound?
No, Apple Valley. It's not a Scientology compound, but it's actually a really nice hot spring.
It probably is.
As long as you're okay with naked hippies. And it's not like the fun ones.
Naked
It's
hippies.
like
I think they're playing Coachella next year.
The weird looking ones. But yeah, it's a pretty bitchin' spot. And yeah, I don't know. There's a long story for that.
Look, if your
we
listeners
won't
hear
get into
this
it
and they get offended, you could blame me. You just say, I don't know what got into me. That fucking guy, Matt, that trail chaser, he got me talking about you guys. I didn't mean it. Whatever. Just blame me. These guys do.
He's an aliens. Whatever.
Yeah. Exactly. But if you do
So-
run up with some aliens, just make sure you let them know. I'm totally interested. Totally.
Interested in what?
I'm bi-directional. Let them know I'm bi-directional too.
If I
sure you
ever
let
come
that
across
know.
aliens, I'm gonna say, who you guys really want to talk to is
you
Matt.
talk to is
I'm not
Matt.
your guy.
Like,
He
go
volunteers
get
as
him.
tribute.
Talking to Matt.
Go get him.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't need to be on his table. Take that guy.
Hey, you never know, dude. They might have an orange casting couch that's super comfy.
Okay, we're officially off
Tough to
the
clean.
rails. Yeah, it's tough to clean. We're officially off the rails here.
This is officially one of my favorite episodes.
I know. You guys are fantastic. Look, if anybody hasn't already, I would assume that about maybe 10% of your listeners listen to our show, and then all of our listeners already listen to your show. So if you guys have not already gone to listen to Rigged for Dirt, please do so. Please follow them on Instagram and go to their website and participate in their upcoming garage clean out events and the Rigged for Dirt OC San Diego. Are all those dates on your website?
Yeah, I mean it's
Yes,
pretty
they are.
easy. We've got Orange County first weekend, first Saturday. We've got LA with Tire Co / Milestar the second Sunday, right?
Yep, second Sunday.
That's confusing. Third Saturday with off the grid.
I like how we started off. It's pretty easy. You see, if you take the flux capacitor algorithm and divide that by the square root of 69, that's when we're going to meet.
If you have a spreadsheet, it's pretty easy.
Yes.
Cody, if you can provide a spreadsheet,
I will make one just for the fun of it.
But no, Rick Figure,
you know what?
we have the events calendar on there. Really easy to find out what's coming up. I am excited to have you guys come out next year for winter camp and summer camp.
Yeah, let's do it.
Be a good time.
Let's have
you guys should tell people where to find you guys, because I think we're gonna double air.
We're gonna broadcast this on Rick Figure's channel. Actually.
Yeah, we're gonna put this one and upload as well, so our listeners can find out where to find you guys.
Yeah. So our website is trailchasers.net, and we are the Trailchasers on Instagram. That's most of our stuff is on Instagram. I'm trying to get on the Tickety Talks to see if I can make some cool videos, but that's a lot of work. But yeah, our YouTube is growing. We do live streaming every Tuesday night at 6:30, and then we release the show on Thursdays for download. We've got 190 episodes. This is up episode 190. They're
all good.
Some are better than others. I went back. So,
they all suck, by the way.
Some are better than others. Matt,
did you binge your show, Cody?
No, but I went every once in a while. A topic will come up that I'm like, holy shit, we talked about that. When was that? And recently we did an event at Stone Brewery, and it was
hilarious.
So I just listened to it the other day.
If I don't mind saying, to toot my own horn, it was pretty good.
I just went back and listened to that episode the other day because I remember it. There's a handful of episodes that are iconic for our listeners. But we've been very fortunate to be able to, we're not industry insiders. We're just a bunch of dorks that talk on a microphone, and we've been able to talk to people like you and talk.
I live in Fontana. Nobody's letting me inside anything. I'm looking at Frank like, dude. I feel like we're kind of friends now, and he lives in Orange County. That's like a step up.
And
for
he's
me.
got a library.
I can lend you some cred, dude. It's all good. You know what's funny is I actually go to Fontana for the Winter Series bike racing that goes out there. So
okay, I'll put in a good word so you don't get shanked. I'll make sure that you're good.
Yeah, but then you go home afterwards. You don't have to stay there. Matt has to stay there. Then again, so does Jose. They both live in Fontana.
I live down the street from him.
Yeah, to be fair, I've never had anyone break into my car. So the people of Fontana have been generous to me.
You already have some credit there. Yeah, okay.
Well, now you've just put a target on your back. Everybody in Fontana's going to be like, there it is. I'm
going to get it. Done.
No one's broken into this car, huh? Fuck that.
Hit the Frontier with the Trailchasers logo on it. And driving it around Fontana.
Yeah, that's funny. But we've been very fortunate to have some really good conversations with some really good people. Some of the people that you've mentioned. And I think there's a lot of crossover in the community, and you guys have that same. You're who you are. You have good conversations. You enjoy talking to each other. You enjoy being part of the community, and it's I think that's something we have in common. And hopefully we get the chance to connect more and do more stuff together. So we'll be paying attention to what you guys have coming up, and open invite, man. Anytime you guys have something you want to talk about, if there's 3 or 4 listeners you haven't gotten to with your show, let us know. We'll try to fill that gap. And we help out.
And the 3 will be us.
If you're really looking for your brand to grow, we'll help you out.
If the 3 of us haven't read your website, you want to come on the show and tell us about it. That's basically what it is. But no, this has been you guys are a lot of fun, man. This has been a great conversation, and I really hope that we get the chance to hang out.
You guys having us on. Thanks.
We really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun.
All right, guys. Well, thanks again, and you guys have a great night.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Take care.
All right. Ollie wasn't part of that conversation.
That's
right.
About Ollie actually left.
Yeah. About the.
He's all, I'm out.
Screw these guys.
Fuck
out.
this.
Screw these guys. I'm out of here.
He's texting right now. What kind of shit show is that?
Yeah. Way to go, Frank.
Fucking embarrassing. We are not broadcasting that bullshit.
I'm not putting that bullshit on my brand.
Tell him we lost the file.
He's like, he just texted me like the hands up. He's like, I'm out. And I go, yeah, we're not done.
don't want to hear it.
Oh, here you go.
Welcome back.
He's back.
Hey, when you made that disclaimer at the very beginning of the podcast, like that was a long time ago.
Yes.
That was
That was a long time.
That was how many beers ago?
It happens
That was how many
all
times?
the
hungry.
time. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
And we already kind of covered it, but it's usually at this point where I tell the guests, okay, this is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna create the social media post. Send me your logo. We'll put it out on Thursday. We'll promote it on all of our social feeds, and use the social media however you want. For you guys, Frank, I'll send you a couple different versions of the audio file and let you do whatever you want to do with it. And anything you guys need in the future, anything we can help out with, please let us know. I'll talk to you later another time about, because we're still live streaming. But I'm interested that you live in Eastville, and I don't think I've seen you around. It's pretty easy to run into.
Well, it's because my Jeep is always in my driveway.
Oh, that. I was going to make the comment when my brother was the one that wanted to buy the suspension. I was going to tell him to come over to the house. Eastville's not very big. We can drive around enough neighborhoods to figure out.
Yeah, come on down. How about it? I mean, we didn't get into it, but yeah, like right now, I blew my motor on the way up to summer camp.
Oh, that's right. We talked. Yeah.
And ended up towing myself there because I had all the coffee.
How do you tow yourself? Because I've got a tow strap in my truck.
Hey, that's
I'm
a
really
very
interested
personal
on
question.
how you. Yes.
That's a very personal question.
And
Over the shoulder, man. Just
yep. And made it, and then now it turned from a blown 3.6 liter Pentastar motor to a 5.3 liter LS that's going in a couple weeks. So
that seems like an irresponsible decision, and I support it.
Yeah, we support it
100%
100%.
irresponsible. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, anyways, yeah, come down. You could see. You could hang out, have a couple ciders with me or IPAs, whatever the fuck you drink.
I'll be right over, dude.
Yeah.
I'll be right over.
I'll be right over.
Take a look at my stores.
Yeah.
Right.
My parts laying around.
Well, cool. I'll send you guys the info. You've got my contact info, and if there's anything you need, let me know, and we'll get some promotion and go from there. But in all sincerity, you guys have been a lot of fun. I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys, and hopefully we can connect again soon.
Yeah, I'm glad we finally got to do this. I know we talked about it a long time ago, and I'm glad we finally got to do it. It's long overdue.
Yeah,
but thank you.
sure.
We really appreciate it. It goes both ways. You guys ever need any kind of help or anything, yeah, feel free to shoot.
Well, I mean, what we're going to have to do is
way.
we're all going to have to go camping now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
Right.
start a podcast somewhere cool. Like, that's
Right.
legit what we have to go do. And you guys can bring your mics.
I don't want
with
to
you.
see drunken with guns or gummy bears.
Nope, that's not our group.
I don't know about the gummy bears.
The guns should be no
I
problem.
can't-
Gummy bears,
The
I'm
gummy
not
bears,
making
I can't
any-
promise it. I
Yeah,
can't
if
promise
the gummy
anything.
bears make it there, it's not necessarily me.
It's coincidental at that point.
Yeah.
If, there are gummy bears. on
Although
that trip.
the trip after that at the Mojave Trail after the winter expedition, about half the people that were on the winter
Brought
expedition
gummy
trip
bears.
brought gummy bears to the trip and gave them out to the group. It's become a thing.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Jeez.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, awesome, guys.
Well, Jose, Matt, good talking to you guys. Cody,
Later, man.
Yeah.
awesome.
You guys, see you later.
Thanks for coming on, guys.
All
All
right.
right.
Later, man.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Can I go
guys.
now?
Yeah,
I-
we
go
can
now.
go
Yeah.
Now you
Am I
go.
allowed to leave?
Yeah.
See you guys.
Later, man.
See ya.
All right, we've got about an hour and a half. We do have a voicemail. Do you want to do a voicemail and just
Do
do
it.
a
Let's do
quick
it.
check? Okay, let me figure that out. And we'll go quick. I got laundry to finish tonight.
You guys see that Ironman 4x4 is hiring? There's 3 spots open. There's
saw
3 of
that.
us. I'm just
All
saying.
right, all right, hold on. 3, 2, 1. Jose, what were you saying about Ironman hiring?
I said there's 3 spots open and there's 3 of us. I'm just saying.
I sent them a message and said we can open up their SoCal branch. We can do parts in my garage.
Let them know I'm really good with I'm semi good with a broom. Like I got sweep
right.
stuff, just in case we had a warehouse.
But you're
or
good
something.
at lifting
but not,
things.
No, I am not.
Oh,
not
that's
anymore.
right. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
since
Yeah,
you got
your
your
vaginal mesh.
I got once my vaginal mesh was installed, like my lifting capacity just plummeted. I should have spent extra on the vaginal mesh, like the
you
reinforced.
should have got the reinforced.
Yeah, you should have got reinforced.
The nanoparticle.
Tighten it up a little bit,
Yeah, seismic reinforcement.
Yeah, bad call on your part. You
never self-adjusting.
You should have wanted another $20 for that shit.
Let me tell you something.
Like,
I will tell you, when you're getting body parts reconstructed, you don't skimp. I went for the extra cadaver tendon on both ankles just to make sure I had it. At that point, you're already in there. You might as well do it.
For one of Kobe's.
Oh, easy.
All right. I'm sorry. R.I.P. Kobe. But dude, your tendons were available, and he was looking for some. So
yeah, but it would have been like if he would have got that tendon.
Could have been a Laker.
Yeah,
I would have been.
But then he would have blew out like his hip because it would have been
like
too much power coming from the ankle.
It's like an upgraded engine. Now your drive shaft's gone.
Exactly.
It's
all right.
It's a
I
balance.
send that. Edit that. Remember
balanced.
that? Edit that.
I do. Hey, we have a voicemail. I have not listened to it, so let's see what happens.
Hey guys, it's Dave from Oregon. Just heard the episode where you played my voicemail. Boy, talk about falling asleep on the job. You guys put your phone number out on every episode to call, and then you wait a month before you check your voicemail.
Okay,
first of all,
maybe we do that.
Well, we were putting out the wrong phone number for a long time.
That's
in our defense.
In our defense. So maybe we do that. Sorry, Dave from Oregon.
How are you going to play storage fees on that Mercedes that's been sitting there done? Anyway. You know what?
Yeah, remember that I got that call from the dealership telling me my Mercedes was done. Yeah,
I'd love to talk to you guys about the 4xe because Jose got a lot of that stuff right, and it is. I think it's a little misunderstood about what it is and what it can do, but I am finding it to be really, really good. And the point is, 470 pound-feet of torque. When you step on it, that thing literally feels like it jumps up in the air and shoots off like a rocket.
I mean, it's like a Ranger. I mean, I get it.
Anyway, let me know if you want to connect up and we can talk some more because probably too much for a voicemail and I don't have the literary skills to write that out in email.
Yeah, Dave, that would actually be a really good conversation now that you mention it. I mean, I think we joked around about the 4xe being 470 pounds of torque for 12 feet, and then you were out of electricity. But I would be interested in hearing your take on it because I know you've gone from the Wrangler, Subaru, then the Wrangler, then the Ranger, and now this. So of all the people that I think this guy changes cars too much. That's coming from me.
I mean, that's 4 cars within the one truck you've had.
Yes. So I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad. And then let's see what else we got. Anything else exciting going on, guys? Any more reviews? Have we checked reviews?
Well, Matt,
I just looked and I didn't see any reviews.
All right. So if you guys haven't done a review, please do us a favor and do that. That helps out. We are doing some planning in the near future for our off-road expo coming up, and Casey said that on the website it still shows in Pomona. I also, I saw that it on the website said Ontario, and talking to Paul, it's Ontario. So plan on being out in Ontario October 9th and 10th.
What if it's just us in Ontario?
You know what? We'll do our own expo. That's fine.
Okay.
And then, Winter Expedition. We've had some recent conversations about Winter Expedition, have we? Well, so the joy of Jose sitting out in front of my office is me going, Jose, come here. I need to talk to you about something. And he comes into my office, and next thing you know, we're whiteboarding shit. But I mean, we did talk about kind of some dates that we've discussed. I don't know that anything's been finalized.
You guys went out on some dates. Had some dates.
Look. We don't need to go out.
You
on dates anymore.
Whiteboarded him or something.
I made the team. There's no need to try out anymore, dude.
Yeah.
Is that a euphemism?
But at the end of the day, we're still planning on doing something for.
So the dates have been selected. More the destination. We're still trying to figure that out.
So the tentative dates.
Yeah.
Are we ready to discuss the tentative dates?
I mean, who gives a shit?
Yeah, this may change, but right now we're looking at December 29 through January 1st. So the week between Christmas and New Year's, just based on vacation schedules and work schedules.
Between? It sounds like on New Year's.
Well, we come back on the 1st.
That's New Year's. Hey, guess what? That's New Year's.
We'll come back on New Year's Day.
Yeah,
Okay. It's not between. It's we're taking one of them holidays, one of them days.
Well, that's part of the plan because there's vacation time in there. So if we do that, we
got Christmas with the family, all right?
Monty gonna make me bring them kids anyhow. So
well, and I couldn't tell you the last time I saw midnight on New Year's Eve.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude,
I am
fucking
47
that
years
is
old.
true.
Like I'm gonna be asleep. It doesn't matter where I'm at. So
At 9 o'clock, I'm dying already.
Yes.
I'm just like, can we just go to sleep now? Happy New Year.
the only concern I have is that the last time we did a trip that week
It was
in
fucking
Akadu.
cold.
Fucking cold.
Well, it's gonna.
And
if
where
we
we're
go-
talking about going,
it's
it's
gonna
going to
be
be fucking
cold.
colder. So we have a little bit of a option, I think, that we need to discuss that may make that better. But
why do we always choose like super freezing winter expeditions and super hot summer expeditions? There's like fall and
Bro,
spring.
where are we gonna go in summertime or wintertime that's warm?
Did you hear what I said? I said there's two other seasons. There's spring and there's fall, and those are like happy mediums.
Yeah, but we're trying to do one a quarter.
It's two happy mediums. There's two extremes, and two happy mediums.
In a perfect world,
we're
we
always
would do
picking extremes.
winter, spring, summer, fall, and one a quarter, and this is the winter one. So I don't know what to tell you.
All right. Well, we're going to Antarctica.
It
Is
wasn't-
that what you guys were leading to?
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys don't include me on any discussions. It's just we're gonna go.
Bro.
We're gonna go somewhere super cold. Great. We're going to Antarctica.
Bro,
That's
we
great.
text you and stuff, and it's fucking
You
radio
haven't-
silent.
Nobody's
Crickets.
texted me in.
No, I'm saying
Do you
we've
know
had
my phone number.
Yeah, I have like both of them.
Motherfucker, I have one phone number. I only have one phone.
Who's the other person?
Who's
you
the other
texted?
man?
I've been sending a lot of
Who's-
inappropriate things.
Who's the other man?
Some guy's going, honey,
I
he's
knew it.
doing it again.
I knew it.
He sent me those pictures again.
He's not complaining. He's like, I'll go with it. and shit.
He's at parties. He's like, look at this guy. He's
Yeah.
been communicating with me for 3 years. Look at these pictures, and he's just scrolling through all of Jose's private parts.
He just keeps sending thumbs up and laughing faces. So
Yeah, he thought you were into all of his jokes.
Man. All right. Well, that explains a lot. So that explains a whole lot. I've been asking you to like go hang out and stuff. No, nothing. You don't even know. So we're going. Where's this place that you guys with the extreme cold? Can I know?
Yeah,
You'll know the day of.
We'll talk off air because I want to share. I want to get your opinion before we commit to.
Oh,
anything.
that'll be a first.
Fucking dick. What a dick. What a dick.
I mean, it's no secret, dude. We've been talking about it.
Have we? Did we talk
Yeah.
about it?
You guys talking about Death Valley?
Yeah.
Let's see. What are you fucking complaining about?
Yes, he's been saying. We've been talking about it.
He's been saying.
Not only do I listen to the show, I'm part of it. So it's not rocket science.
What is
it's
this
not
commercial
rocket,
for?
It's not rocket scientry.
A hair club for men. Not only am I
Yeah.
I'm also a client.
That we're talking about Death Valley. I just it's gonna be cold up there. It's gonna be cold as shit up there.
It's average like high 60s and low 30s.
Yeah, low 30s. The last,
that was
That's Anza Borrego
it was
weather.
Yeah,
but yeah, Parker wasn't like that.
No,
Parker
Parker
was
was-
like low 55.
Okay.
It was actually really freaking nice that week.
I mean, there's a lot more trails than.
Can I also remind you about the Walmart that was 10 minutes away too?
Yeah,
Selling point.
There might be an equally fun selling point for you.
There's a Walmart up in
this.
Death Valley.
Maybe I'll show you.
Got to be a Costco.
I'll show you pictures.
Someone's I've been sending.
Yes,
to your other
the other
phone.
guy. It's my burner phone. It's my burner phone. I've been collecting information on Jose on.
Man.
So that's the plan right now. Is we're trying to put all that stuff together. We've got Off-Road Expo, SEMA, and Winter Expedition. Those are our three big things coming up in the next quarter, and it's going to be a lot of work between now and then. Some of you have reached out and offered to help, and I appreciate that. We will let you know once we have some plans finalized, and then go from there. But anything else, guys? I feel like there was something I wanted to talk about, something I saw in the news that I wanted to talk about, and I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, all the forests are closed right now.
Yes, from the fire fire stuff. Yeah,
all the national forests are closed.
National forests
to the end of September.
I think Rush had a song about this, dude. It was like a premonition. I think it's like the end of times.
What do they know, dude? They're Canadian.
Canadians know about forests.
They do know, and maple syrup.
And maple syrup, forests, beer, bacon.
Yeah, ham, like pork products.
What else? We can keep going.
All right, that's good enough. So
I guess
hockey.
Jose could. Thank you. I was waiting for you to participate in what we know about Canada. America's hat. I mean that in a good way. I wear hats. I meant that as a positive.
All right. Thanks everybody for joining us in the chat room. We had a lively group this week, having a lot of fun with the guys, and we appreciate all you guys joining us. If you haven't heard already, Tuesday nights live at 6:30 on YouTube, and then the show is released on Thursdays. Thanks again, and everybody have a great night.
Thanks, everybody.